welcome back here. The first stop on the D3hoops Road Show is at Neller Gymnasium at Clark University in Worcester, Massachusetts. I'm joined by Rhode Island men's basketball coach, Rhode Island College men's basketball coach Bob Walsh, whose team defeated the Cougars tonight here by the score of 74-63. First of all, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, Pat.
Pretty hard-fought win tonight. I noticed that the first half was a little bit back and forth, maybe not as much as I had, a little different style than I had expected from you guys. The book on you guys, or the story is, it's such a defensive team, and I expected it to be more of a slow-paced, deliberate game. Then in the second half, especially once you got up by a couple of possessions, that's what the game kind of turned into. Yeah,
it wasn't a typical game for us this year, to be honest. I mean, our defense wasn't great, and their offense, give them a lot of credit. They played with an edge that we were trying to catch up to for pretty much 30 minutes. So it's not in our best interest to try and outscore people. We've got to get stops. Luckily, the last 8 minutes or so, we were able to settle down and get some stops and pull away to win.
Yep, winning by the score of 74-63, held Clark to 10 of 28 shooting in the second half, of 2 of 12 from three-point range.
Yeah, and that's important. I mean, we should be holding people under 40% shooting. We did that in the second half. We didn't do it in the first half. We've been like top 5 in the country in points allowed. We're giving up 53, 54 points a game. So, when they had 33 or whatever it was at halftime, we knew we needed to take a different approach to be able to win the game. And like I said, the last 8 minutes, I think we were able to do that.
One of the reasons I wanted to come see this game in particular, not only because you're the only ranked team on the floor tonight anywhere in Division III men's basketball, but also just to kind of dispel this rumor that we don't like state schools at D3 Hoops.
I've never heard that. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, well, I could go back through the Twitter feed, but I wanted to. I wanted to ask you, you spend a lot of time and put a lot of effort into social media, both on your Twitter feed and on your blog. What does that do for you? What do you get out of it?
It's been great. The blog I started basically as a way to just keep thinking about hoops in the off season. I'm always having discussion with coaches at camps and recruiting and at different events and friends of mine about different aspects of the game, and then you read something interesting. Social media is so easy today. I mean, you can get information all over the place. So I started the blog as a way to sort of just create some discussion points, and really what it does is it keeps your mind working. You read different stuff and you post it and you get feedback from it. So I get a lot of great feedback from people all over the country that read it, and it's created, I've had conversations with coaches that I don't know about topics because of the blog, so it's a lot of fun.
And do other coaches respond when you talk about these things on Twitter as well?
Absolutely. I get responses on Twitter. I get emails probably once a day from a coach who says, hey, I saw something on your blog, or I follow you on Twitter. The other day it was about how we foul up 3 late in games, because we foul, and that's always a conversation going on.
Sure.
And, Coach, I'd love for you to share how do you teach it, that kind of stuff. So, and what it does is it makes you sort of think the game more and put it into a concise way of delivering it, which is important. It helps you as a coach as well. So it's been a lot of fun.
You guys played Clark tonight. I know you played MIT earlier in the season. You played WPI. I think you must have played another NUMAC team at some point in the schedule as well. This has got to be a real contrast. In some of it's contrast in style, some of it too is just contrast in institutions. The Rhode Island College is significantly different from most of the schools in this league.
Well, our league tends to be more athletic. So when we play, we played Amherst Tuesday night, and Dave and I talked about it. I mean, it's been such a great game for both teams because it gives us, there is a size and skill factor that league has that we don't see a lot. And there's an athleticism and a quickness factor that we have. And I think it's the same with the NUMAC. NUMAC has a really strong conference this year. WPI's, if not the best team in the country, they're certainly the best team in our region right now. And MIT's coming off a Final Four year. Clark's been very good. Springfield's very good. So we're lucky to be able to have so many teams in our area to play. It's a 45-minute to an hour ride, which makes a big difference with the budget. And obviously when you're playing 3 games a week like we are now. Right. So, and the matchups are good. There's great coaches in this area, so it really challenges us on a nightly basis.
And this is an interesting time of the year to have a midweek non-conference game. At most conferences at this point in the season, you're playing Wednesday, Saturday maybe, and then you don't have time to play anybody else.
Yeah, it's not ideal. We would have liked to do it earlier. I mean, we play Tuesday, Saturday, so our non-league games tend to be Thursday. We had a 4-week break almost, and I couldn't get a non-league game on one of those Thursdays. So, the date worked with Paul. It's after we started school. But everybody's got to go through tough stretches in their schedule, and we just got to deal with it.
Now, the schools in this league are a little bit more like where you went to school. You graduate of Hamilton, where you were played under Tom Hamilton, a guy who's now here in the Boston area and is a pretty legendary guy in D3 circles.
Yeah, Coach Murphy is a legend. He's at Northeastern, surrounded by Hamilton guys, right, with Jimmy McCarthy and Billy Cohen, and you know, it was great to be a part of that program. You know, Coach Murphy is a legend. He won 600 games and kept it so simple, you know, and that's one of the things I really took away from him. You know, my experience at Hamilton really set me up for what I wanted to do, which was be a coach.
Yeah, RIC seems like a program that every year comes into the tournament with 5, 6, maybe 7 losses. Then you go on a run. Is there something that turns on for you guys in March, or is the regular season misleading for the rest of us, or what's the deal there?
You know, to be honest, a couple of years ago we were really, really talented, and we couldn't figure it out in November and December. Those Sweet 16 teams, I mean, neither one of them was going to the NCAA tournament if we didn't win our league.
Right.
So I don't think it's something where we turn it on. I think it's something where it takes us a while to figure it out. And those teams had different personalities, with Tariq Carter and Randy Casey, Steve Roberts, our seniors this year. And last year, I mean, last year we went into the Little East Championship game knowing we were pretty much in the tournament. You know, this year we're in a great position, being 17-3, and you know, we haven't, the last couple of years we haven't dropped a game to a team where you say, you know what, you really can't afford to lose it. So I don't know if it's the mentality of the kids that we have, or if it's just a different approach that we took those those first couple of years when we were in the Sweet 16, but you know, our guys have really focused in on how important it is to win every night, because you know how hard it is to get into that tournament.
It is. And you know, tell us about how the Little East is this year. Obviously, you guys remain a constant. Western Connecticut graduated a lot of guys, lost a lot of guys. They've taken a big step backwards. What's the rest of the league looking like? Well,
we lost a lot of talent. I think 8 of the 11 all-league players from last year were seniors.
Yeah.
So a lot of the talent is younger. But it's a battle every night because the coaches are just terrific. You know, we've got coaches in our league that have been doing it for 30, 35 plus years. So I would say it's not at the level we were at last year when we had 3 teams in and we had a 4th team, Keene, that was knocking on the door. I mean, that was a pretty historic year. But it's still a battle every single night. So we're fortunate, you know, we got 5 games to play. We're a game up, but it's one of those years where I think there are 5 or 6 teams in our league that feel like they could win the conference tournament if they're playing well at the right time.
He's Coach Bob Walsh of Rhode Island College. This is the first stop on the D3 Hoops Road Show here I'm in Massachusetts tonight. We'll see where we are the rest of the week.